Gurve Gaurachanda Radhika Tadale Krishna Krishna Bhaktaya Tada Bhaktaya Namo Namaha Sri Nanda Nandanam Bande Radhika Charanadvayam Gopi Jana Samayuktam Vrindavanam Manoharam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadha Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. First of all, I offer pranams to our Gurudev, Vishnupad Chidandi Swami Bhaktivedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj. Our Sikh Gurus Chidandi Swami Sri Gaura Govinda Gosai Maharaj, Bhaktivedanta Madhusudan Gosai Maharaj. All devotees. Okay, Madhurika, everyone ready?
I think so. It's very early in the morning here. It's 6:20.
6:20, half the day is already finished.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, it's because they're always changing the times of the class here in Russia, and then that's a little awkward. So, last few weeks we're discussing Krishna, Bhagavad Gita. But Krishna has 6 types of incarnations. Right? One is the Prabhav, one is the Vaibhav, one is the Hams, one is the Avesh, the Balya, and the Paugand. Right? 6 types of incarnations of Krishna. And Krishna personally have two types, which are most famous, the Prabhav and the Vaibhav. Prabhav means when Krishna expands into identical looking forms. Like when Krishna married 16,108 queens in Dwarka. So Krishna expanded himself 16,108 times. And such is his potency. Each queen thought Krishna only stays with me. How much is tricky. Sound is clear, Madhurika? Right. So 16,108 Krishnas living with 16,108 individual queens in 16,108 separate houses, palaces. And each queen thought, because Krishna loves me the most, he is only with me. That is astonishing. And more astonishing, each one of those forms of Krishna acting independently. One day Narad also became astonished. How is it possible? So Narad, because he's devotee of Krishna, then he has almost same power as Krishna. So Narad also expanded himself to 16,108 Narads. He wanted to see what's happening. Okay. Where's Sergi from? Obviously Russian. Sergi, can hear? Where are you from? Okay, for some reason he's not answering. So, Narad Muni saw this. He saw in one house, one palace. Okay. Where are you from, Sergi? Which city? His microphone isn't working. He's just typing something. I'll see his answer. It's. Is that in UK? Anyway. So, he saw in one palace, Krishna was taking rest. In another palace, Krishna was taking lunch. In another palace, Krishna was practicing sword fighting. In another palace, Krishna was giving some lecture. In another palace, Krishna was meditating. You know English, Sergi? Okay. You know, Sergi, I'm in Russia now. Maybe we can meet I'm traveling 16 cities. Maybe we can meet in one of these cities. So, in another palace, Krishna was meditating. Because the scriptures say one should meditate on Krishna. Krishna was also meditating on himself. And this is called Prabhav Prakash. Or like in Vrindavan, in Ras Lila, then Radharani had a desire, I want to see how Krishna looks dancing with millions of other gopis. So to please Radhika, Krishna expanded himself. Between each gopi was 2 Krishnas, or between each Krishna was 2 gopis. Like when you take a stick with some fire on the end and you make it circle around like that. Thousands of Krishnas dancing with thousands of gopis at the same time, and each Krishna acting independently. So this is Prabhav. Vaibhav means when Krishna expands, but the expansion looks different from the original. Like Balaram, like Narayan, right? Krishna, but different. Different complexion, different mood, different activities. Krishna also has other expansions, like he expands into the childhood form, he expands into the baby form. This is called Balya and Pauganda. These are also different vilas of Krishna. But the original form is called Swayamrup. Swayamrup always have peacock feather, always have flute, always have 2 hands. Gopavesh Natavad, always dressed as a cowherd boy. Venuka, in his hands he has flute. Venum Kovantam Aravindam Dalaya Takshan Barhavitam Asitam Sundarangam Gandarpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Sobam Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Prema learning the verses of Brahma Samhita?
Yes, now just listening, but I am on the way of learning.
So, Krishna has darkish complexion with flute on his crown, on his hair. He has a peacock feather tucked in. More handsome than millions of cupids, teenage form. This is called Kishore. Teenage form, the prime of youth. And more handsome than millions of cupids. This is called Swayamrup, the original form. And Prabhav, Vaibhav, Amps means the different, like Leela expansions, like Matsya, Kurma, and others. But Krishna has these 6 expansions. But the original form is Swayamrup. Okay, try and remember that. Swayamrup, original form. So Krishna is called the Advai Gyan Paratatva. Advai Gyan Paratatva. Advai Gyan Paratatva Bhajanja Nandan Surup Shakti Rupit Tar Hoy Aswada. Krishna is called the non-dual entity. The Advai Gyan Paratatva. Non-dual means Krishna is completely devoid of any duality. Right? 3 types of bed, 3 types of difference. These are not present in Krishna. What are they called? There's the Swagat Ved, Sagat Ved, and Vijatya Ved. Swagat Ved means Krishna is non-different from himself. Swagat Ved means, like the human being, look at ourselves, we are fully different, right? Parajyoti's nose is different from her eyes. Right? We can see by eyes and smell by nose and touch by hand. I mean, each sense functions differently. But Krishna is not like that. Angani yasa sakalidya vritti mati. Krishna's form, top to bottom, there's no difference, no bed there. He is the fully non-dual entity. But we are not like that. Krishna can see by hearing. Krishna can eat by glance. Right? Krishna can even impregnate by glance. How astonishing. We have to pick something up and eat it, but Krishna just glances at it and he eats it. So Krishna's all senses can perform the function of all his other senses because he's non-dual. Also, there's a difference between our soul and our bodies. But Krishna, there's no difference between his soul and his body. Inside and outside is no difference at all for him. His body is fully spiritual. So there's no question of Krishna leaving his body or changing body. Not possible, because he is his body. His soul and his body is no difference between them. This is called Swagadvet. Even Krishna is non-different from his clothes, imagine. His flute, his clothes, his shoes, this also same as him. We are different from our paraphernalia, but Krishna is not different from his paraphernalia. We can change names, but Krishna's name is non-different from him. Sometimes we're angry, then we change to becoming lusty, or we change to becoming like sleep, tiredness. But Krishna is not like that. So his qualities, his activities, these are all non-different from his form. All are spiritual, all are transcendental. We try to make difference, this is a great fault. Like there was one famous Advaitavadi called Ram, I think his name was Radha Krishna. He was the president of India for some time. Not prime minister, president. So he was very famous, so-called philosopher. He wrote, it's not to Krishna we surrender, it's to the unknown within Krishna. The unborn within Krishna. They always try to deny the form of Krishna. But this is foolish because there's no difference between the inside and the outside of Krishna. So this is called Swagat Ved. There's no difference between Krishna and his form, top to bottom. Sagat Ved means that which is related to us. We are different from our expansions. Right? Parajoti is different from her children. Child. Like her parents are different from her. So there's a difference between us and our expansions. But Krishna, there's no difference between him and his expansions. Ramadi Murtishu Kalahaniyanem Niyamedatistam Nanavataram Akarod Bhuvanesh Kintu Swayam Samabhavat Paramam Pumanyo Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajam. Brahma Samhita. It says Ram Adi Murtisu. The other forms like Ram, like Nrsingadev, who can count the incarnations of Krishna? No one can count the expansions of Krishna. Even Krishna can't count them. That's how many there are. Of course, he can count them, but just to give you an idea how many are there. There was one devotee, Muchakunda. Anyway, he was, long story, but he lived in a cave and he met Krishna after many millions of years. He was sleeping. And he had a benediction who woke him up, he would kill them by looking at them. So one demon was chasing Krishna. He's called Kalyavan. So Krishna knew this. Krishna ran into the cave and hid on the side. And when this demon came in, he ran into the same cave and saw this person sleeping. He thought that was Krishna. But it wasn't Krishna. It was this king, Muchakunda. So the demon kicked the person on the ground, thinking this to be Krishna, but it wasn't Krishna. So this king, Muchakunda is his name, he woke up because he had a benediction. Who has woken me up? He looked at the demon and burnt him to ashes. So Krishna killed him without even touching him. He got someone else to do it. Then Muchakunda saw Krishna in the cave, Vasudev, so shiny, so effulgent, so handsome. He thought this must be Krishna, but he wasn't sure fully. So when we meet someone, we introduce them. No? Oh, hello, my name is Damodara. I'm from blah, blah. And Muchukunda introduced himself. I'm like in the dynasty of Ikswaku, like my name is Muchukunda. I come from like a royal family. I was sleeping here, then this fellow kicked me. I burned him to ashes. Who are you? In a polite way, Muchukunda asked Krishna to introduce himself. Then Krishna said, who am I? I have so many names, so many forms. Who can count? Even I cannot count. And Krishna said, maybe in the future, someone may count the stars in the universe. Maybe possible. Or maybe someone can count the grains of sand on the earth planet. Maybe possible. But no one can finish counting my names, my forms, my qualities, my activities. So Krishna is not different from his expansions. Rama Adimurtika Nanavatarma Bhuvanesu Kintu Swayam Samabhav. So Krishna is non-different from his expansions. The Upanishads say, Om Purna Punamidam Purna Purna Sudachati. If we expand from ourselves, we lose something. Like if I cut off my finger, this is a bad example, but I couldn't think of it. Krishna expands, but Krishna never diminishes. So the Upanishads say, if the complete whole emanates from the complete whole, Krishna remains completely whole. Translate that into Russian. If the complete whole emanates from the completely whole remains completely whole. If Krishna expands into an entirely separate form with the same potency as the original, that Krishna never diminishes one atom. He can have complete expansions. Like even materially, from one candle we can light 1,000 candles. And each candle possesses the same burning potency as the expansions. But the original candle never diminishes in potency. Even material things possess this. Why not Krishna? So the 24 Vilas incarnations, that who can count the unlimited Leela avatars, the Guna avatars? But Krishna never diminishes one atom, one iota. He remains full, complete. And his expansions, Krishna have two types of expansions. The personal expansions. Now we're just talking about the personal expansions of Krishna. The Swa-angsa. These are all the unlimited incarnations. Bhagavatam mentions so many of them. Lord Ram, Balaram, Parasuram. Who else? The Matsya Kurma. Bhagavatam mentioned like 10 main ones. These are Krishna's personal expansions. And the souls, us, we are called Vibhinanks. We are separate expansions from Krishna. Imagine that. Krishna is so wonderful. Krishna can have personal expansions which are the same as him, and Krishna can have expansions which are different from him, like the individual soul. But still the soul is non-different from him, but have a different identity. The souls cannot say, I am Krishna, because they have a separate identity, even though they're non-different from. But this is called Sagat Bed. So Swagat means Krishna himself. Sagat means Krishna's expansions. And lastly, Vijatiya Bed. Vijatiya means different. Krishna is non-different from those expansions which are different from him. Imagine. I'm sitting on my bed, but still the bed and me is different. Because bed is made of material matter, and I am conscious. So the bed is Vijatiya, separate from, different from me. Why Prajoti's cat always comes in the middle of a lecture?
She wants to hear about Krishna.
She wants to distract you. Don't love Krishna, love me. So this is called Vijatiya. Like matter is different from Krishna, completely opposite. Because matter is Krishna's energy, it's also the same as him. So this is called Vijatya. So Krishna is the non-dual substance, the non-dual entity. There is, in simple language, there is nothing which is different from. So today we want to talk a little bit about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because he is not expansion of Krishna. He's Krishna himself. So he is special form. All the other incarnations are not Krishna directly, personally. So Swayambhuva have two forms, blackish Krishna in Vrindavan with flute, and golden Krishna. That is called Lord Chaitanya. Krishna is called Lila Purushottam. He's always doing wonderful activities. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is called Prem Purushottam because he's distributing love of Krishna. So today we want a little bit talk about this because we've talked so much about Shyam Sundar in Vrindavan. But we not talk too much about Gaur Sundar, the golden form of Krishna who appeared 500 years ago in Navadvip. But we cannot have except one form of Krishna and reject the other. Krishna means in both forms. So I was a little reading to the Russians yesterday why Krishna came in the form of Gaur Sundar. Many reasons are there. But one main reason, Krishna was thinking. Anapita chirim chirat kurunaya avataro kalo samarpayatam unat ujvalorasam swabhakti sriyam hari purita sundara duti kadamba sandipitaha purato kamdada spurato vasachinanda. Krishna was thinking, for a long time I not distributed love of Krishna. Love of Krishna here means especially Braj Prem. The way the residents of Vrindavan love Krishna, this Prem only Krishna can give. Because it's Krishna's own property. No other incarnation can even give that Krishna Prem. Only Krishna can give. Ami Vina Braja Prem Diti Nahi Shakti. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishna is saying, only I can give my own prema, my own love. No one else can give. No other incarnation can give. And what is special about that Braj Prem? It's completely devoid of any, we call Aishwarya. Aishwarya means knowledge of Krishna's opulences. Krishna has so much strength, so much power, so much majesty, so much potencies, so much wealth, and so much beauty. But in Vrindavan, no one cares about these other qualities of Krishna. No one cares about his position or his wealth or his opulences. They're only attracted by his beauty, by the sweetness of their personal relationship with him. Right? So Krishna was thinking, Aishwarya Janate Sabajaga Mishra, Aishwarya Sitala Prem Nahi Morakri. The whole world knows Krishna's position as the Supreme Lord. In Bhagavad Gita, what Krishna spoke 5,200 years ago, he directly says, Mata Paratadam Nanat Kinchidasti Dhananja. Arjuna, nothing is superior to me. Everything rests upon me like pearls rest upon a thread. So that thread is Krishna. Krishna is the thread and the pearl, both. Whatever wonderful thing you look at, any other incarnation or any other demigod or any like individual soul or whatever beauty and material nature, is come from where and rest upon Krishna like pearls rest upon a thread. So nothing can be superior to him, nothing can be equal to him. So everyone respects Krishna with this knowledge. Like we read Bhagavad Gita, Krishna pointing to himself says directly, Ham sarvasya prabhavo matva sarvam prabhatate. Iti manta bhajante mam Buddha bhava samadvita. 10th chapter. You can look. This 10th chapter 8 to 10 chapter 12. This is called the 4 seed verses of the Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna says everything spiritual and everything material comes from me. One who knows that worships me with affection. Buddha bhava samadvita. Knowing my position, they worship. But Krishna is not fully satisfied by this type of worship, which is based on knowledge of Krishna's position. Knowledge of Krishna's, we call Aishwarya, his opulence. Sergi, understand the English? Or is he listening to the Russian? He'll type an answer. His microphone is not working. So, Krishna wants affection which is devoid of opulence, devoid of this knowledge. This gives more happiness to him. So Krishna said, the whole world worships me with all reverence, but where there's knowledge of Krishna's opulence, then affection shrinks. Amara Ishwara Mane Apane Kahin Tad Prem Vasami Nahi Adi. But if one thinks of Krishna as the supreme and the devotee thinks of himself as less than Krishna, which is the truth, that's the philosophical position. Krishna said, I do not become controlled by his affection, by that devotee's affection. I'm not captured by that love. So, Krishna promises in Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter, Veditamam prapadyante tamstateva bhajahamyaham. Mama vatmanu vatante manusa pata savasya. Okay. So, but Krishna promises in Bhagavad Gita, I promise to reciprocate according to the devotee's surrender to me. So, Mora Putra, Mora Saka, Mora Pran Pati, Jai Bhav Se Mora Kora Sudabhakti. But in Vrindavan, no one feels Krishna as God. No one. They think he is my son, he is my friend, Mora Pran Pati. Pati means husband. He is my husband, my beloved, more dear to me than my own life. So, Mora Putra, Mora Saka, Mora Pran Pati. Ye Bhav, Ye Mor, Kora Sudabhakti. Krishna says this is pure devotion. Not mixed with fear, not mixed with knowledge of Krishna's position. Right? In the beginning, we have to know Krishna's position, philosophically. But in a high level of devotion, you will forget. And this gives too much happiness to Krishna when devotee don't care. Apaneka bara amama apana baramani apaneka hin abhav hoye amitar adi. If devotee can think, I'm bigger than Krishna, and Krishna is less than me, Krishna becomes very happy by that. He becomes captured. Like Krishna's mother. She always protecting Krishna. She's not thinking Krishna maintains millions and billions of universes. She's not thinking. You think, I am feeding, I am keeping Krishna alive. Because of me, Krishna survived like a child. And because in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna promises to reciprocate, if devotee have that mood, I am the protector of Krishna, I am the maintainer of Krishna, then Krishna reciprocates by becoming subordinate. Yes, and he agrees to be maintained and fed and nourished by the devotee, because Krishna promises to reciprocate. Mother Yasoda wants to protect him, then Krishna agrees to stay like a baby and be protected. So these are two types of moods. Some moods know Krishna's position, and some devotees don't care about his position. They just want to love him. There's a story. There was a great devotee of Lord Ram. Right? His name was, what was it? Tulsidas. famous devotee. He wrote this Ramcharitamanas. He always knows my Lord, Ram, he is unlimitedly powerful. So he was staying in a village with a devotee of Krishna called Surdas. Surdas was a devotee of Krishna who always thinks Krishna is my son, like some Vatsali was. They were living together at that time. Some mad elephant attacked the village. Some chaos was there. So Tulsidas, he said, why should I be fearful? My Lord Ram is unlimitedly powerful. He can kill billions of elephants. One elephant is nothing. So with that confidence, Ram will protect me. Ram will save me. He was completely fearless. But Surdas was in a different mood. He's in parental mood. So he thought, my baby Krishna cannot even protect himself. He's just a baby. I will protect Krishna. So he took his baby Krishna and ran away to a safe place. Anyway, so this second mood gives too much happiness to Krishna. Parajoti missed it. A jewel-like instruction she lost because of affection for the cat. Madhurika will tell you after. Apneka bara ama mani ama samahin. If one thinks I am bigger than Krishna, that Krishna becomes too much pleased by that. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says to the gopis, Maya bhakti hibhutamnya, Maya bhakti hibhutanam amritavaya kalpate, dista yad asin matsnaya bhavatiyam mad apana. Krishna says, devotional service to me is nectar. Maya bhakti hibhutanam. Bhutanam means the individual souls. So the service given to Krishna by the individual souls, this is called bhakti. Amritadaya kalpate. Krishna said this is like nectar. Why? Because it gives so much happiness to the soul who's serving Krishna. It gives so much happiness to Krishna also. Dista yad asin matsneya bhavatina madatana. So wherever that the feeling is there, Krishna says, I am attracted there. I am pulled there. I cannot stay in a distant place. So here, Kaviraj Goswami gives example of Krishna's mother. Mata mora putra bhav korine bandhan atihin gyan koli lalanapala. Krishna's mother sometimes chastises him. Foolish child, he don't know anything. I have to teach him. So if child does something wrong, mother has to punish. Otherwise, child cannot develop properly. So Krishna does many things, like eating dirt. Mother Yasoda beats him, threatens him, twists his ear, abuses him. She thinks, if I don't correct him, then no one will love my child. If my child is uncivilized or not behaving properly, no one will love him. So motherly affection, she chastises. So she chastises Krishna, also protects him, feeds him breast milk, cleans him, changes his nappy, decorates him. Everyone should see the beauty of my son. Everyone should love him. With that mood, she's doing all these services. So she always thinks I'm superior to Krishna in age, in knowledge, many things like that. Like mother is always superior to child, no matter how much child develops. So mother, for example, in Vatsalya Ras, devotee think I'm superior than Krishna. I know more. Therefore, they're always giving advice to Krishna. Always, if he misbehaves or something, then some correction is given, some punishment. But Sakasuda Sakyabhav Skandeyarohan Tunkon Balalok Tumyami-san. But the friends of Krishna, they think Krishna and me are same. Well, same. They climb on his shoulders, they ride him like a horse. They eat off the same plate, they wrestle with him, they joke, they abuse each other. I think Krishna is not bigger than me, we are same. So this also gives too much taste to Krishna, too much happiness. And Priya Yadi more Kore Kore Batsan. And especially the gopis, they always think Krishna is mine. Krishna is my property. Therefore, also superior, they think we are superior. So they also can abuse him also with very bad language. But Krishna too much happy by this because they're abusing him with so much affection inside. Like you see in this 10th canto, when Krishna left for Mathura, and the gopis felt so much separation. Even the gopis, when they would blink, that 1/11th of a second it takes for the eyelids to blink. With that 1/11th of a second, they cannot see Krishna. So for the gopis, that feels like millions of years of darkness, millions of years of pain. That 1/11th of a second, they cannot see. So when Krishna leaves and goes to a very distant place for many months, how they feel. We cannot imagine the pain. Like poison. Poison kills very quickly, but this poison of separation from Krishna. The gopis say, we cannot live without Krishna, but we cannot die. Why? Krishna kissed us, then his lips are like nectar. We have drunk that nectar, therefore we cannot die. Also, Krishna has promised, I will return. Therefore we cannot die, because if Krishna returns and we are not here, who will serve him? So even though they're living and that living gives so much pain, for love of Krishna, they're ready for that. Of course, inside that pain is so much nectar, so much taste. We cannot understand. We have no love for Krishna, therefore we feel no separation. But in that separation is so much taste. Like Kaviraj Goswami gives the example, like drinking boiling hot sugarcane juice. So when it's boiling hot, so much pain to drink it, so much burning when it burns your throat. But it's so sweet, you cannot stop drinking. You have to drink more. So when Krishna is not there, so much separation. That is like poison. But inside is so much remembrance of Krishna. This is like nectar. Who can understand? Only one who get love of Krishna, they can understand all these things. So, in separation, the gopis may abuse him, speak very bad about him. He is a big cheater. He called us to the forest and left us. So, they speak many bad things about him. Then someone may say, if Krishna is so bad and so cruel and so nonsense, and why you always speak about him? If Krishna is so bad, why thinking about him too much? And Gopi said, that is the problem. We cannot live without speaking about him. Krishna can live happily without us, but we cannot live happily without him. That is the difference. So in this separation, maybe the gopis speak many bad things about him. But for Krishna, this is like nectar. Because they're speaking with so much affection, so much attachment. So, Priya Jadi Man Kore Kore Batsa. Many people offer many prayers to Krishna, but because that love is not there, they cannot catch his mind. They cannot catch. But the devotee who have that love, even they speak many bad things about Krishna, for Krishna this is like nectar. He feels so much happy when he hears this. So, and Prajot, you want to give up all these topics just to be merged in a formless light? This is crazy. The devotee only can taste these topics if you're separate from him, different from him. If you merge with him, you cannot experience anything because no one left to experience them. So in all ways, this Advaitavad is very wrong. It's still in Prema, the gopis feeling Krishna is with us. We are with Krishna. So, E Sudha Bhaktalan Koremo Avatar Kore Vivida Vidha Adbhuta Vihar Vaikunta Adi Nana Ye Lila Prachar Sesi Lila Korebe Yata Mora Chamatka. So Krishna thinking all these things, this type of love I want to give. But 5,000 years ago, Krishna not distribute. He's tasting, but not distribute. Because who is qualified for that? So Krishna thinking, I not distributed this love. I tasting. And like my mother and father, the gopis, they're tasting, but ordinary person in this world, how will taste? No one else can give, only I can give. So Krishna also thinking, I have to show how to get this love. Someone can distribute, but unless qualified, you cannot take. I don't know, I cannot think of an example. But the lottery office distributing wealth. What you call lotto ball, powerball. You have that in England? Lotto, powerball, lottery. The government distributing, but unless you have the winning ticket, you cannot collect it. So Krishna thinking, I want to distribute. Only I can distribute. But I also have to show how to become qualified for that. So Krishna also thinking, I have to come this time as guru, as sadhu. I have to show the world how to get that prema, how to behave. I have to show what is good, what is against devotion, what is prayerful for devotion. So Krishna thinking, I have to come, I have to practice myself. I have to show example to the world because Krishna is guru of everyone. Krishna is the original spiritual master of the Vedas because he spoke them. Krishna says, Krishna said, I am the speaker, I am the teacher of the Vedanta, I am the goal of Vedanta, I am the speaker of Vedanta. That's why what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke to Sarvabhauma, this conversation, this is the authoritative explanation of the Vedanta, because it comes from Krishna himself. Anyone can write any commentary, but when Krishna gave his own commentary, that will be the most authoritative. Because the Veda is his. Krishna is made of Veda. Veda means Krishna, knowledge. And Krishna is made of pure knowledge. To Krishna's explanation of Vedanta, there will be nothing equal to that. Cannot be. Even all acharyas have written commentary on Vedanta, like Ramanuja, like Madhvacharya, Vishnu Swami, many have written, but no one can be equal to what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke, because Krishna himself. So Krishna thinking, I want to give this prema, because this prema is like nectar. Other type of prema is not nectar. So I want to give this, only I can give this. I can give, but how can I make them qualified? Therefore, I have to show example. Right? If guru is useless, disciple will always be useless. But guru is proper, then disciple can have some direction, some guidance. So when Krishna comes as a sadhu, when Krishna comes as guru, no example can be equal to that also. Because Krishna is the original guru. He's the guru of all gurus. He's the guru of Brahma, he's the guru of Shiva, he's the guru of Lakshmi, he's the guru of the Chatus. Because Krishna gives knowledge to these four sampradayas. So he's the guru of all sampradayas. So Krishna thinking, I have to come as guru, I have to give the perfect example. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doing that. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, lady disciple is like daughter. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he never hearing name of woman. To give example to this world. No? Saintly person should be like that, not lusty and, like we see so much misbehavior of so many saintly persons, so-called saintly persons. And people lose faith in gurus because they see like Osho and, what's his name? Vishwanath and all these guys collecting. People lose faith in the gurus. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave that example. You're not keeping anything for the next day, imagine. He said, there was one, I forget. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after eating, he would take, it's called haritaki. It's like a digestive. They call trifala now. You know trifala, Prajoti? It's like a digestive. After eating too much or whatever, helps you digest food. If you have trouble going to the bathroom, it's like magic. Anyway. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sometimes would take this haritaki. It's like a little fruit and suck it or make it to powder. It's quite bitter. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked one devotee, I forget his name, "Oh, I want some haritaki." So the devotee went and begged some haritaki. Maybe he collected 2 haritaki. He gave one to Lord Chaitanya, who ate it. Then the next day, he said, "Oh, I also need some haritaki." Then immediately the devotee brought out a piece because he had from yesterday 2 pieces. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Where you got this from?" "Oh, I kept it from yesterday." Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Sannyasis should never keep anything from the previous day. Therefore, you have to marry." Anyway, this is you're giving example like that. This sounds a little strong example, but anyway. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaching the world through this type of behavior. And his always behavior was like that, always perfect. There was one devotee called Haridas Thakur. No, Chota Haridas. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would accept prasad. He would go to the house of different devotees for prasad. But only devotees, he would accept what they cook. Who was not devotee, he would never eat what they cook because no love for him. So there was one devotee, Bhagavadacharya. So he would cook, and he was a friend of like Sakira's friends, so too much affection. Bhagavadacharya wanted to cook, then he asked one devotee called Chota Haridas, "You go and collect some rice from Madhavi Devi," one lady. And Chota Haridas went, but in that house was one young girl also, and Chota Haridas was looking at her lustily. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was eating the rice the next day. "This rice is very nice. Where it come from?" Then Bhagavad said, "Oh, Chota Haridas brought from this lady's house." And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he knows everything. Oh, secretly, he's in red cloth, but looking at girls lustily. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "I won't see him anymore. I don't want to see his face, because he's a renounced daughter, celibate, but looking lustily at girls like that." So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejected. And 1 year not taught, he gave order. No one should mention his name. I don't want to see his face. So some devotees would say, "Please, Lord, he only made a small mistake. Don't reject him." The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stood up and went to leave. They asked him, "Where are you going?" He said, "I cannot live here with people like you. I'm going to another place. You all stay here with Chota Haridas. I'm leaving." Like this, so strict. And everyone begged forgiveness. "No, we won't mention his name. Sorry. Everyone became so afraid because that example was there. They would not talk to girls even in their dreams. It's such an example he gave. This is not for married person. He not gave the example for married person. He gave these for monks. If you're a monk, do it properly. If you're a married person, do that properly. So sex life is not forbidden between husband and wife. If devotee would have a child, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu become too much happy also. Like Shivananda Sen and his good wife, I cannot remember her name. They had a baby. And if we have anything, we should first give to Krishna. Like food, Rajoti offering a food to Krishna. Before we eat, the first thing we give to Krishna. Some new cloth. I made some new cloth yesterday, I forgot to offer it. But I still haven't worn it, so I will offer it today. Any new thing, give first to Krishna. So baby should be given first to Krishna, right? So this child, they offer to the feet of Lord Chaitanya. And this child was very not ordinary child because parents are so high class. So when they put the baby on the feet of Lord Chaitanya, the baby began sucking Lord Chaitanya's toe. Imagine. Because there's so much nectar coming from his feet. Maybe thinking mother's breast is giving something but cannot give like Lord Chaitanya's feet. So he's sucking the big toe of Lord Chaitanya. Everyone was astonished. No? So they gave the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you should call him Puridas. Everyone called him Puridas. Then when he became a bit bigger, they tried. Then Lord Chaitanya one day said, Puridas, chant the names of Krishna. Chant the names of Krishna. But the child did not say anything. He kept silent, and everyone was astonished. The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, in the forest of Jharkhand, even I made the lions chant Hare Krishna, even the deer, the snakes, the crocodiles, the elephants, even the plants and trees would vibrate Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Such was the strength of Lord Chaitanya's mercy. Even animals and plants would chant the holy names. Such was his influence. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I make the whole world chant the holy name except this child. What is this? And I think Swarup Damodara said, oh Lord, I think in his mind he's chanting Krishna mantra. So like the Gayatri and Krishna mantra, you should not say out loud. You just say in your mind. So I think he's chanting this mantra in his mind, but not out loud. The next day, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, oh, Puridas, speak some verse about Krishna. So Puridas had made his own verse and he spoke that. Very beautiful. I cannot remember the Sanskrit, but it's like Krishna is very dark like a blue lotus. And on his ears, he also wears earrings, which are also like a blue lotus. So these qualities and beauty of Krishna are like the ornaments of the gopis. It means the gopis always decorate themselves with Krishna's name, form, qualities, pastimes. To that all-attractive Krishna, the life and soul of the gopis, I offer pranam. Like this, some verse he made like this by his own self. And everyone was astonished because this composition was perfect and so beautiful. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, oh, he's a very poetic boy. Kavi means poet. And his poetry is like nectar to the ears. So this is called Kavi Karnapo, the poet who puts nectar in the ears of everyone. So this child became, everyone would call him Puridas, but from that day on, everyone called him Kavi Karnapo because beautiful poetry he would make. So he wrote many books. You can read them. I think Ananda Vrindavan Champu, you can read that book, all the pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan. So beautiful. So, what was the point of all this? I cannot remember. Anyway, so just saying, Lord Chaitanya's mercy and example so ideal, so perfect. We cannot be like that. We are just ordinary. We are souls. But he gave the path. Whether you're married, Lord Chaitanya also, before taking renounced order, even as married person, he also showed ideal example. Even as a married man, not man, married pastimes. Every day he would wake up, he would worship the deity, he would circumambulate Tulsi, always chanting the holy names. So even as a married person, he was very ideal in every way. So whether you're married, Lord Chaitanya gave the example. If you're married, then be like that. And if you're renounced, then be like that also. So for all classes of person, he gave that example. So it's one devotee, Swarup Damodara, he made a very beautiful prayer to Lord Chaitanya. Hello, Danita Kedaya Visadaya Chita Pita Modaya Saswat Bhakti Vinodaya Samadaya Chita Pita Modaya Satswat Bhakti Vinodaya Samadaya Madhuja Majadaya Sri Chaitanya Dayanadi Tamadaya Bhuya Dhamondo Daya. All glory to the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. The scriptures say many, many things. People become bewildered. So, Samyak Shastra Vivadya, the apparently conflicting arguments of the scriptures, he reconciled everything in a very sweet and attractive manner. Samyak Shastra Vivadya Samadya. Madhuja Majadaya. Majada means proper behavior. So he also showed proper behavior for the devotee and also how to properly approach this Madhurya Rasa, that the gopis like conjugal attraction to Krishna is not some Romeo and Juliet. It's not some material thing between man and woman like this world. So in a very careful way, he presented these old teachings, how to achieve that mood in a proper manner. He showed all these examples. His mercy has no side effect. In all other spiritual practice, there's some defect, difficult to perform. But in chanting the holy name, nothing is difficult. There's no chance of any bad reaction coming from his mercy. Like even Krishna, if any demon came before him, Krishna would just kill him and liberate him and finish him. But in Kali Yuga, people have so many bad habits. If the Lord was to kill all the demonic persons, there'd be no one left. Right, Madhurika? Imagine if Krishna killed all the alcoholics, the prostitute hunters, the drug addicts, the woman chasers, and the sausage eaters, the gamblers. If Krishna killed all those guys in Wales, there'd be no one left. The whole country would be empty. So Krishna had no time too much for this. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so much kind. He did not kill the demons, he changed their hearts with the weapon of his mercy, with the weapon of the holy names. So anyway, to this, he purify everyone's heart by his behavior, by his example, by his mercy. So anyway, so this is some of the reasons why Krishna came as Lord Chaitanya. Something giving, his example, his mercy. And what he giving? This love of Vrindavan, which was not given before for a very long time. Okay, just something to choose, something to think about, because this is not outside Bhagavad Gita, because Lord Chaitanya is not an expansion of Krishna, Krishna himself. So special qualities of that. Are there any questions